You coasted right into it. Good job. Ian Cero, you are the Lord J. Silverman Award winner and a real person with a bio.
That's correct.
That bio? This is really fun, and this is going to be one of those sort of meaty, like sciencey things that SPSM loves to do.
I wondered if the body of suicide research that we have built over the past 50 years might be on shaky or maybe just not very advantageous ground.
Are we sure that this assortativity that we see on social networks, right, would also occur in real life without, or is it a mechanism of the actual social media itself?
So I started looking to other fields like physics and biology for tricks that we could use to maybe start building a foundation that would give us incremental progress.
People can be alike in ways that are like hard for our brain to sort of consciously and simplistically recognize. But in a complex makeup can be more similar. And so it may be that you were saying, oh, this person is sad and this person is happy, but there are a whole bunch of things they have in common. And so the sad person becomes happier because of maybe some very complex mechanisms.
Exactly. If birds of a feather flock together, we only really need to know the location of one or two birds to infer the location of the whole flock. And my thought was we could trick the math into telling us where the people that we couldn't find are. Digital media give us the capacity to measure human behavior in this unprecedented level of precision.
I didn't sign that consent form, Ian Cero.
Well, you did it in public, so sorry for writing down what you did. For example, this dissertation alone analyzed 65 million tweets across 17 million people.
Because sometimes we see this sort of thing happen where student A dies of suicide, student C dies of suicide. They didn't know each other. Right? They weren't directly connected, but there was a node between them.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So there was this is sort of this network that you're talking about, this assortativity and the connections is there, but it's not always one-to-one, right? It's not the next person in line.
And I'm wondering if when we see those clusters, we attribute contagion to them because contagion is the sexier, seductive explanation. It feels like something that in principle we could intervene on, but is ultimately just a trick of a kind of underlying homophily.
It's okay. We promise you'll get plenty of screen time later on.
Can you just move your head?
You can just let Ray have the screen time.
The four questions are, is suicidal talking, just talking about suicide, assortative to any degree? 2, if it is assortative, to what degree is it assortative? And 3rd, if those two things are true, then can we really just chalk this all up to mood? And then 4 is, if all of those things are true, can we exploit that pattern to do better screening? That's if you're a fan, that's the same Banach as the Banach-Tarski paradox. But it's
we're very familiar. We just don't talk about it a lot in mixed company.
Sure. Yeah, it is one of the more controversial of the paradoxes.
Can you use assortative networks to be tactical about how you intervene?
These two are connected. It's hard to see, but they're connected by this person. These two are connected by this person. Just about everyone in this network is connected. If you are talking about suicide, you're connected to almost every other suicidal person by 2 degrees of separation.
Together, like you and Katie get together. Let's do it.
We'll tag team?
Oh my God.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Yeah.
Speaking of tag teaming, I haven't been this excited about snowballing since Clerks.
The upstream downstream thing kind of gets tossed conceptually gets tossed away, and this is the new hotness.
You're helping move the field in a direction away from this pathology-based, individual, something wrong, medicalized approach, and getting us to think of in terms of networks, in terms of emergent phenomenon.
We've got to try to build the tools that people are going to use to be productive and be better and use them to make society better. But we can't promise there's going to be no negative consequences because that's just not the way that's not the way science seems to have worked out.
Yeah, I actually think that we can be sloppier than people are allowing themselves to be right now.